I can put this.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, there you are.
All right. Now there's still an echo of some kind. Nope. Okay, good.
No.
Everybody is muted except for me, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so if you've got a question, absolutely raise your hand or write it in the chat or send it through Shayna, whatever works for you. So
do you want questions? Oh, you can't hear me. Do you want questions while you're talking or do you want to wait?
Why don't you give me half an hour and then the questions
Okay.
are really intelligent.
Okay.
Yeah. Because needless to say, I'm working on all of you in the field while we're doing this. Okay, so today is the 4th of November, and my name is Dr. Kyre Adept, and I am a Geotran practitioner instructor, and also have a technique of my own called activations. And I'm going to be talking about the activations later, but make a note that you can have access to all 236 activations that were downloaded to me by the Dragons over a 2-month period when I was in France last year. And they're all available at phoenixactivations.com. So take some initiative, go use your muscle testing, see what works for you. It includes 64 gate activations for human design. So if you're interested in human design, that is a section I would recommend that you look at. But the core of what I do is Geotran, and Geotran is the language of all possibilities. I started learning Geotran back in 1997. I had trained as an architect and I realized I was not enjoying myself. So I went to find something, the thing that I am here to do, the thing that I can be passionate about. And I found it in Geotran. And I had the background for it because when my teacher, Dorothy Espio, the creator of Geotran, said, hey, if you're not making as much money as you'd like, if you have physical ailments, if you have family issues, if you keep having the same relationship over and over again, just with different people, then these are programming issues. Now, I grew up in a family of computer programmers. When you say programming issues to me, it's like, that means we can fix them. And I stayed and I worked in her office for 3 years before I set off and ended up in California, actually, as a practitioner. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And then 3 years ago, the Dragons started talking to me. So that's like on top of this foundation. But you know, whether it's your electronic computer or your inner computers, you've got to start with the foundation that your inner computers are not going to work properly if you're running the equivalent of computer viruses, which normally are coming from other people. Now, I'm not going into judgment about those other people. They are, I'm sure, excellent and wonderful people like your parents. But until the age of about 10, everything that's going on for us is going on in the subconscious. And everybody, especially children, assumes that if something is going wrong around them, it must be their fault. Right? So, for instance, my parents got divorced when I was 3. And my teacher pointed out to me about 15 years ago, I think you're still running both sides of the divorce. How your father looks at women, how your mother looks at men, all of that. And she was right, damn it. But the good news is, because we could identify that, we could change it. So that's a lot of what I do. Is my very first question to anybody is, what % are you, the you that you were designed to be, the eternal you that has come in and it's sitting in this personality like wine in a goblet. Let's clean up the goblet. Yeah. So that the wine is no longer contaminated. Or, just to mix my metaphors, imagine that you are a cut glass globe, yeah, faceted globe, like a lead crystal. Yeah. And we know that if light hits that globe, you're going to have rainbows across the room. That's your hues. That's what makes us human. But if any of those facets are dead or dulled out or covered in crap, then it doesn't matter how good the light is or where the light is coming from, you're not going to be able to read your records and you're not going to have access to your hues. So what makes us human? Our hues, that's our colors. We all know people who see things in black and white, for instance, and also humor. So if you're working with people or looking at people in the greater society who can't laugh at themselves, run! Yeah? Because that's not the energy you want to be around. Seriously, my teacher said this herself, the kingdom of God runs on lightness and humor, bliss and elation, laughter and joy. That's what we get to be all the time if we're not being weighed down by all this other stuff. Now, my experience, and as I say, I've been doing this for 25 years or so, my experience is that 80% of what I clear from somebody has come from somebody else's toxic beliefs, toxic experiences, toxic memories, or mass thought forms. And we all know about mass thought forms. Yeah. But the good news is, if you're running something that is not naturally part of your system, that is particularly easy to move on. Do you see? Because it doesn't belong there anyway. So what I do really is like sitting down in front of your laptop, which is not behaving the way it should, which is being slow, which is being awkward, which is, sending you off in other directions. And I'm like, who would you ask if your actual laptop was out? You would ask your oldest grandchild or the nearest 19-year-old to just come in and have a look, right? And they would sit down and they'd go, and you'd know they were putting codes in, and you would know that you could learn how to do that. But frankly, you're concerned with other things and you just want your computers to work. Okay, I'm that. Okay, I'm 66, but really I'm the local 19-year-old in terms of your right? And if we can do it with a sense of humor, so much the better. So here, I want to just get this group to a place of at least some basic clearing. If I have everyone's permission. Do I have everyone's permission? Yeah. Hands up if you have permission, right?
Yes, they're all saying yes.
Oh, okay. Just want to check, because as you know, it's out of integrity if we impose our work on other people, no matter what our good intentions are.
Right.
We're actually just working on this in the Geotran community at the moment. We are here to give, help, serve, teach, and allow. But we get hooked into doing it incorrectly. Incorrectly means maybe the right technique, but the wrong person or the wrong time or the wrong technique. And we get hooked into, I'm just going to go right out there and say it, the church of stupid. The church of stupid. So instead of the glory of God is intelligence, and intelligence is truth and light, instead of running your own truth and the light of spirit, the light of God, however you think about God, we end up serving the church of stupid. Not you, of course, but I'm sure you've noticed other people in your life who do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get you back to being you insofar as we can do it in only an hour and a half in a group like this. But hey, the next 20 minutes are going to be a revelation. Yay!
Hey.
We're going to learn stuff. So take notes if you have to. Right. So where I start is with what in my world we call the subconscious clearings, right? So, Shana, would you be willing to be my guinea pig for this little bit?
Sure.
Okay. So, and anybody else can do this at the same time. It's totally okay. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to touch this point here. Yeah. So on the midline between the breasts, just touch that point for me. And you're off. You notice I'm muscle testing all the time. You're off. Okay. So take your hand away because we don't want to confuse your system. Now, everybody, cone the fingers of your right hand. Go circle clockwise over that point. Clockwise is top to your left, to the bottom to your right, clockwise. So all in the wrist action. And say 4-2.
4-2.
Okay.
4-2.
Just once you do it, that's good. Okay, now Shana, you would be willing to touch that point again for me, please?
Yes.
Now she's strong. What does this mean? I hear you cry. Okay. We're going to go back 5 minutes. Okay. All right. Shana, please say to me, I have 100% self-esteem.
I have 100%
I
self-esteem.
have 100% less self-esteem.
That's off because we went back 5 minutes. Okay. Now, do the right hand clockwise over in the midline, right at breast level, 4-2.
Or 2.
Okay. Don't touch the point. Just say, I have 100% self-esteem.
I have 100% self-esteem.
What did you say?
I have 100% self-esteem.
Now, here's an absolutely basic thing in Geotran. We do a pre-test, we do the correction, we do a post-test. Pre-test says, we have a problem, Houston.
What is it?
The correction puts right that whatever that issue is in your circuits.
Right.
The post-test lets you know that a change has been made.
Right.
Everybody with me so far? Right?
Yes.
I'll just wait a second. So she can...
Yeah, wait, one person is moving closer to you so she can hear better.
Super. Okay, well, I will continue to explain while that happens.
Yeah.
So you see what we did with Shayna. Now, I just took her because she's the one in the group that I have a little acquaintance with. I could have done this with any of you. Right? So we did our pre-test that says, if we touch the self-esteem point, it checks off. It checks weak. There's less life force energy going through that part of the circuit. Then we do the code, right? All Geotran codes include numbers, points, and geometries, right? The point, similar to acupuncture points, the point says, okay, this is the issue, right? The geometry, the circle, locates that point on your circuits within the greater energy field. And then the numbers correct or reharmonize or re-educate that point. So you see, this is all very terribly left-brained and technical and what have you. But the cool part is, all of Geotran is actually designed to get your right brain and left brain speaking to each other again. Right? Dyslexia means that communication cannot cross the midline, side to side, top to bottom, or front to back, or maybe all three. So really what we're doing when we're checking these points is we're saying, in your circuits is energy, is power able to get to that area. Right? So now you look at Shayna, and she's probably the most confident one at this table. You know, we would normally say on the conscious level, her self-esteem is right up there. But on an unconscious or subconscious level, her circuits are not allowing that. Is everybody with me? Yeah. Now the really
we have no control over that.
Right, because it's in the subconscious. It's the stuff you don't know about.
Right.
Right? Okay. Now, if Shane and I were working together, specifically on her stuff, I might ask in the field, okay, now is there a block to your self-esteem? Is there, have you picked up some pattern from somebody else, and when would that have occurred, and what is the consequence now? So like if your church, if on any level you are serving the Church of Stupid, then you're running the consequences of the Church of Stupid.
Right.
Even though it's not your intention, it's not really your programming at all.
Right.
It's just where you've been hooked in. Do you see?
We're getting our lunch served.
I was going to say, you have a waiter here.
Yeah.
Here, we're going to improve the self-esteem of the waiter right now. Insofar as his higher self will allow it. 4-2, that's what I say.
They're going to be coming in and serving us, so yeah.
That's quite all right. I have good focus because
Yeah.
it's happening here. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, it looks like it's all coming, so we're pausing.
Perfect.
I love what you're saying though, because I just spent a week with my ex-husband and I was not consciously connected to the patterns that we had, but I was definitely aware of them. And I didn't let them bother me. I just kept kind of sweeping them away, So I love what you're saying, because I wondered how many of those patterns were still stuck in me because I met him when I was 14. So there's a lot of years, you know, it was like no years had, we haven't been together for over 30 years, but it was like
But-
no years passed, right? So I could feel those triggers happening. So I love what you're saying. This is
Yeah.
good for me.
I'll tell you, when you get triggered, you know, say hallelujah, because that
Yeah.
gives you something else to change. I mean, seriously, last time I was in France, I developed a total crush on somebody and I let him know that I had feelings towards him, and he let me know that he wasn't really available. Which is fine. I mean, he did it in a very, you know, polite, respectful kind of way, almost affectionate, you know. But what was interesting for me was that totally triggered a lifelong pattern of always second, never first.
Oh, wow.
It was fantastic because I went back there and fixed it.
That's awesome.
Instead of being angry, being annoyed, feeling rejected, you know, all those places that we can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I started hunting down some of my other triggers. Like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
You know, so and a lot of these won't even be yours. You know, I mean, this always second, never first. I actually tracked down to my sister back when I was 9, and I started going to private school and she didn't. She was her own pattern of never makes the grade.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is why it's actually really, really good to work with somebody like me, because, and I'm saying this with total kindness, I don't care. I don't care what your issues are. I'm sitting over here being detached. You know, you understand what I'm saying here?
Right.
Of course, a trigger is going to set you off, but it's not going to set me off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to use my muscle testing to get to the bottom of it so that you don't have to experience it anymore. Mm-hmm. So when working with me and other people who do geotrend and other people who do other stuff too, it's not like geotrend is the only way to do this. It's just the way I know best. It's just so fantastic to watch people go from feeling frazzled and upset at themselves and lots of self-judgment and self-condemnation and irritation at the rest of the world, no matter how justified, to going, oh my gosh, that's who I am. That is the truth of me. Wow. Mm-hmm. I had forgotten. Mm-hmm. Because most people have not been wholly themselves since they were about 2. Think about the terrible 2s. It's just these little beings are figuring out who the heck they are. Yeah. And it doesn't mean you let them get away with tantrums and what have you, because it's part of the learning process as parents, at least so I understand, because I'm not one myself, but I have observed a lot, is providing them with some boundaries. Yeah. But who's looking at the boundaries of the parents? If you see what I mean. It's like, you're going to teach your kids the patterns that are normal for you. And you will have picked those patterns up before the age of 10. And they're sitting there in the subconscious, just waiting. Isn't that fun? Okay, moving right along. So we actually have a set of these subconscious clearings, right? So, Shana, I think I have actually sent you this file before, but I'm happy to send it to you again, of the big 4 subconscious clearings. I'm just going to demonstrate them, right? And I'm going to move my camera so you can see what I'm doing. They're all right down the midline. They're all right-hand clockwise. And I do them all as one sentence. 4-2, 2-2, 4-4, 6-2. Now, what is this clear? Self-esteem. Then in the solar plexus, success. Then at the navel, I choose to live. And then halfway, and just above the pubic bone, 4-2, 2-2, 4-4, 6-2 is I choose to live by higher laws.
Wow.
Yeah.
I choose to live my higher calling.
Higher laws, not calling, higher laws.
Higher laws. Okay, say them again. 4-2,
4-2, 2-2, 4-4, 6-2, and you just run them right down. 4222446.
I choose to live my higher law.
Yeah. And the
Bottom
divine
line.
feminine is all about law. This is something that has been a little bit ignored in our circles, because what we associate law and obedience, for that matter, with this very rigid, constricted energy of someone dominating you. And that's not what it's about at all. So that's a whole different discussion that we can have some other time. I'm writing about it right now in my book about the dragons, but trust me on this one, the Divine Mother is all about law.
Yeah.
All about law. And what law really means is being in alignment with you. And obedience absolutely means being in alignment with you. Right? So, okay. So 4222446. Whoa, whoa. And now the whole group goes, oh, yes, that's so much better. Okay. So there are actually, I mean, I know lots of geodragons. Because I trained with Dorothy for 3 years, and then I still go to the big 4 conferences every year and the teleconferences every 2 weeks. And I'm the one taking the notes. So I got it all written down. It's great. Okay. So the thing is, where do you go with this? Well, I start with, are you 100% you? Right? And if you're not, what's taking up the rest of that space? We each come in with a divine blueprint, and that divine blueprint is basically your card of hands. Your hand, did I say that way around? Let's try that again. Your hand of cards.
Close enough.
Yeah, it's good enough for folk music. Okay, so you have a lot of choices about how you play them, right? But your eternal self, your big soul, not your personality self, your big soul, actually has some pretty strong feelings about where to go with that. Now, what happens with most people, I want you to picture, we've got this little triangle here, right? And at the bottom is the physical, and the middle part is your soul level, okay? What you think, feel, believe, and desire. It's your psyche. It's where psychology comes in. And then the top bitty, the pointed bit, is your spirit. Okay, now your spirit is doing just fine. Don't mess with your spirit. Your spirit is totally okay. It's already in alignment. It's great. But oh man, that soul level for most people is stacked up with implants and wackoness of one sort and another, contaminations, assimilation, possession, laggard behaviors, and 80% of them are coming from somebody else. So let me give you an example. Shana, if I may use you again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You just told me, you just gave me the clue. You just said, okay, I've just spent some time with my ex. And I'm sitting there going, so how many patterns did he leave in your field or re-stimulate? And I'm just going to muscle test, because as I say, I'm detached about this. I don't care. I just want to find out the truth of you. That's all I'm looking for. So 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9. Where's my pencil? Okay, hang on a second. Let me get a pad. You know what? I put my pad somewhere safe. Just a sec. We're not going to get them all, but let's get, say 2 or 3. And I can show you how easy it is to throw these off. Right? Okay, so this is Shana. I like to write down a map. Of course, it helps if I have a pencil that actually functions. See, all we're trying to do is to get everything to function correctly. Oh, I had the best example. Just yesterday, the day before, Shana, you probably saw it on my Facebook page. I have a circuit breaker in the house that just switches itself off. And it's the one for my bathroom circuit, right? So I usually have a bath at 5 a.m, and it's really nice if I can have light in there. So I go and turn, I switch the circuit breaker back on. Yeah, and there's power able to go to that circuit. Great. And that lasts for about an hour. No, that's fine. And it turns itself off. I don't care. But I was looking at that and I was thinking, wait a minute. What is that telling me about my system? What in my system is automatically somehow getting shut off so that I don't have energy going to that part of my life?
Right.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
that's an interesting question, because I don't know about the rest of you, but what I'm noticing in my clients is we're all having financial difficulties.
Yeah.
So if there's energy not able to get to that part of your life, that's when we start looking at the points that are being affected. Just like acupuncture, only without the needles, thank God. Right? So what I'm wanting to know about you, Shayna, and this visit from your ex is there anything in there that is automatically shutting parts of your system off? So that
Good question.
I didn't quite hear you, I'm sorry.
Good question.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so hey, it's all the art of the question, you know what I mean? Okay, so I heard there were 9 things, but I hear we only need to identify 1, 2, 3. Okay. And we're going to do a pre-test. And our pre-test is, what percent, Shayna, are you, your big you, able to function in your big you? 100%. You know, we're looking for you being 100% the person you were designed to be. Okay. And you are right now, I'm just going to my muscle testing. 0 to 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70 to 80. 70 to 80, I mean, that's good. I've brought people back who are down to 4%, you know? So 70, 75%, that's okay. Yeah, about 76%. Okay. This is our pre-test. Hello, this is saying that something's not right. Now let's see if we can get it. So what are these 3 things that we get to know about you and your ex, or just about your ex, or the patterns that you already had in you that attracted a person like your ex?
Yeah.
You see, it can go way beyond your actually that person.
Absolutely.
Right? Because number 3 here is something you picked up from somebody else. Female person. I think it's your mom, actually. So number 3 is prior to conception, conception, birth, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. Okay. Now, all I'm asking in the field is what's first in order priority, because your body intelligence absolutely knows how you got off track, step by step, and how to get you back on track, step by step, in order of priority. Okay, so the first one that comes up is, what was going on with your mom? May or may not have anything whatsoever to do with you. I don't know. You were 9 years old. And it could be as simple as hearing your parents have an argument in the room next to you.
I can't recall anything. My mother was very secretive. So
Ooh.
she wouldn't talk about herself. So if anything was going on with her, she wouldn't tell anybody.
Not the point. What was happening for her? Not what she was talking about or not talking about, or some issue she was dealing with in herself. What was going on for her, even in the external world? I mean, did you grow up with your mom and your dad together? Do you have siblings? What was going on in your mother's life?
She was, well, the 2 babies and me, I was the oldest.
Yeah.
So when I was 9, there were a 6 and a 5-year-old also.
Okay, so you were all going to school by then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a shift in your mom's life. And
she was a housewife. I mean, that's really all that I can recall.
okay, so what was your dad doing during all this time?
He was working.
Okay, and what is his profession?
He was in sales.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And was he around a lot, or some salespeople travel a lot?
No, he stayed home, but he worked long hours. We only had him 1 day a week on Sunday. That was the only day off that he had.
Interesting. There, but not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
he always came home every night, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so something was going on for your mom. And let's just listen here. So whatever was going on for your mom, what's the effect that you are still feeling now, and that certainly got you in some way attracted to or attractive to something about your ex-husband, who you hadn't even met at that point, because this is about your mother's computer virus, not your.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you just to go in with your body intelligence. I want you to just go into the field and just go have a look, because I guarantee you that every sensory impression you experienced, 50,000 of them a day, it's stored somewhere in your system.
Yeah.
So just go have a look.
Well, the old story is that I was abused when I was a baby, when I was young, before my sisters were born. So I was 3 when they were born. And then she got even more stressed or whatever. So I felt tossed aside
Yeah.
because she had the pressure of taking care of the babies.
Uh-huh.
And so my thing is, or the thought that I had was, somebody save me from this.
Okay. But what
Be
I'm
out of
looking,
this house.
you see, what I'm looking for. Yeah, I totally get that. I could absolutely see how that might relate to your ex. Yeah. But here's the deal. Your mom had a breakdown when you were 9. It was just a very quiet one.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you check with your muscle testing, but that's what I'm hearing.
I don't know, sweetie. I'm not recalling anything like that, but
That's okay. That's okay. Because look, we choose to recall what we have decided is significant for us. Now, one of the things that I've really noticed about people who have been abused one way or another, and there are lots of different ways you can be abused, is that they basically don't remember anything before the age of 12.
yeah.
I mean, to me, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
And there are people who had happy childhoods, and I'm really, really happy for them. I just don't happen to be one of them. Okay, so your mom had a breakdown of some kind, and for her, it might have been 10 minutes. But what I'm hearing her say to your dad is, I can't do this anymore.
Okay.
Cannot do this anymore. So she basically quit on some part of her life.
All right.
Okay.
I can get that.
Yeah. Okay, now how does this relate to your ex? How does it show up around your ex? Is he quitting in some way, or are you quitting in some way?
Well, I quit a lot.
Yeah.
I quit when it gets really tough, because it starts to remind me of how tough it was and get me the fuck out of there.
Hello. Yeah.
Now I just want to leave me alone, you know. And of course, I've been living alone for a lot of years now. So
Can't imagine what that feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. And here's yet another way of clearing this. So I want you to go back. I know you don't know in a conscious way what happened or when it happened. Okay. But in your unconscious, your subconscious, in your greater soul, you do know. So I want you just, with your intention, just go back, and everybody find some place in your life where this has happened, because I guarantee you've all got some. Go back and change the situation. Here's my favorite way, but it can be any way you like. My favorite way is to create a fantasy aunt or uncle. You know, the one you were named after, who shows up miraculously at the exact moment you need him or her, and says, honey, this has nothing to do with you. Let's go get ice cream.
Yeah. Let's go get ice cream.
Let's go do something that's age appropriate for whatever age this was going on.
Right. Yeah.
And let's do it 5 minutes before the parents had the argument.
Okay.
Right? Whoa. Because, I mean, man, if you're going to create an imaginative scenario, you may as well have it something you enjoy. So,
Right.
because here's the point, the subconscious does not know the difference between
Yeah.
memory, experience, imagination, delusion, dreams, whatever. Yeah. So if you're going to make up a story about your life, make it a good one. Make it one that
Yeah.
supports you. Okay. So look, hey, there's Aunt Shana coming down the walk. Yay! Rush out the front door and go and have some ice cream. Sheesh. Let your parents deal with their own shit. Not your job. It's
Not my job.
about you.
Yeah.
Anybody relating to what I'm saying here? Anybody else getting this? Yeah. All kids think it's about them.
Right.
The most frequent thing I have this fantasy aunt or uncle say is, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you. Oh, now I'm feeling it dissolve. Are you feeling it, Shana?
Am I feeling what?
Are you feeling that dissolve?
Resolve.
I am feeling a shift in the field as you have this
Okay.
imaginative recreation. Are you feeling it?
Well,
Okay, if you're not.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm actually, I don't know right now. So
Totally okay.
yeah,
Totally okay.
yeah.
Okay, so here's where we bring in the dragons. Okay, now this,
Okay.
Shana, this is new work since you and I last spoke. Okay.
Okay.
Can I share this screen?
Yes, down at the bottom.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm just going to bring a file up. Give me a second. I can do this. Yes, I can. I have something called the Dragon Prayer. Okay, prayer. What would you say is the signature of this particular computer virus? So here we go.
Give me an example of a signature.
Okay.
You said giving up, so that's what I would say.
Giving up, yeah.
Is that right?
There's another little something. So here are some examples. Can everybody see the screen? I know you're kind of eating and things like that.
Uh-huh.
I have a whole list here, and it's by no means complete, okay? But here are some things that you can ask the dragons to help you clear. Envy, malice, misery, coveting, craving, jealousy, Pharisee, hatred, greed, victim, grudges. I can't. Oh, I can't. That's the one. I can't.
Oh, that's the one. That's mine.
Yeah. I won't. Worry, judgment, unforgiveness, blame, anxiety, procrastination, loss, lack, failure, shame, struggle, rejection, and other. Yeah. So I will also send this to you, Shana, and you can distribute this to your group if it checks for you.
Okay.
All right. So here's what the dragons have told me. They will not do for us what we need to do for ourselves, but they are very good at healing, clearing, and deleting negative conditions that plague our computers and subconscious. But you must ask for the help. Now, this is how I ask for the help. You can say whatever you want, but notice the technical aspects of this. So I say, dear angel, saints, guides, masters, divine helpers, and dragons, because that's who I work with, please erase, dissolve, release, and delete all programs, patterns, computer glitches, addictions, allergies, all reactive conditions arising from, in this case, I can't.
Okay.
On all levels, zones, times, dimensions, realms, and realities, all vibrations and facets, all timelines, time frames, all lifetimes, everywhere I exist or Shana exists, known or unknown, identified or unidentified, named or unnamed. Okay, press the button. Press a button right now. Beep. Thank you. To God be the glory forever. Amen. See you. Okay, so you're telling these energies that exist multidimensionally, this is something I want to have cleared and healed. And you just let them run with it.
Right. Wow.
And if you're energy sensitive, and I know you are,
Yeah.
you're gonna feel that one.
Yeah, that was really amazing.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
that a lot. Yeah.
I'll make sure and send it to you. So
Okay.
you got to do each one individually. Okay. And you check to see if that clearing is complete. So right now, Shayna is running anything that has to do with I can't. No. Well, gee, what's that going to change in your life?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And we seal afterwards. You put our fingertips together and say anchor, lock, and seal. And I actually give the full anchor, lock, and seal on this page, which you're welcome to share with your people. Right.
Okay.
So while we have this up, is it, whoa, wow, something just cleared. Woohoo! Hard to believe that I was so incredibly left-brained in 1997 that I couldn't actually feel this stuff. I really couldn't for 3 years. So the good news is, if I can learn how to do this stuff, you certainly can. Because Chan's all about right brain, left brain, using the whole brain, re-education. Okay, so is there anything else on this list that we can clear right now using this prayer? Yes, okay. Column 1, middle column, other column, 17 to 20, 20 to 24, 20, 21, 2, 3, rejection. Anybody in the room have rejection issues? Okay. Dear angels, saints, guides, masters, divine helpers, and above all dragons, please erase, dissolve, release, and delete all programs, patterns, computer glitches, addictions, allergies, or reactive conditions arising from rejection or fear of rejection. All levels, zones, times, dimensions, realms, and realities, all vibrations and facets, all timelines and timeframes, all lifetimes, everywhere I exist and everywhere everyone listening to this, including the replay, everywhere we exist, known or unknown, identified or unidentified, named or unidentified, everybody press the button, delete button now, beep.
Delete.
Whoa, to God be the glory forever, amen, and seal. Huh.
Put your
Say
hands
that
together
That's how you seal
and
it.
you seal it like this and then amen. Yeah.
Anchor, lock, and seal. Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Body language, communicating to the body where you don't know where.
Yes. 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 You know, a lot of this stuff can be clear just by intention, but that doesn't mean your system understands that it has been cleared.
Yeah.
That's why I have a wand. I can do everything that I do without the wand. But the person listening or that I'm working with, their system needs to know that something's being done. Do you see how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we talk. That's why we do the actual codes. That's why I, creative use of the wand. It's all about getting your system to understand that something's.
They don't have coffee.
Coffee machine broke.
Excuse me, honey. Yeah, I know. You just wanted it.
Some people believe in recaffeination. What are you going to do? Okay.
What?
Recaffeination, is that what you said?
Recaffeination, yeah. When I was in France every Tuesday, I have this Airbnb apartment. It's the one I always stay in, and it comes with a cleaning lady on Tuesdays. It's like, oh, thank you, God. So she shows up at 8:30. We have a little chat. I go down to the nearest cafe, and I basically don't drink coffee. But, hey, once a week, I go down to the cafe. They make their own croissant. I go in and I have my one coffee a week and my croissant. Well,
Coffee a week?
Yeah. So
in France?
Yeah. So the final time I went before I came back, at the beginning of October, the head waiter, said bonjour madame, the way they do, and he said, your usual? I'm an habitué. They recognize me here. It's so fun.
How fun.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's really cute. Okay, that's neither here nor there. Anything else on this page right now? Oh, okay. So we're going to take that page down so that you can see me better, and I can see you. That was so fun. Okay, so we have 100% cleared the mum's breakdown when you were 9. That's a yes. Next one. Prior to conception, conception of birth, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. Whoops. So you see, this is all well before you met the guy. What happened when you were 10 years old? Is this with someone in your family? No. Is this someone at school? This is someone at school. Now, here's
I
what
probably fell in love.
you fell in love when you were 10?
Probably. I would have to actually count the days, the years, but that was probably it.
I would so love to agree with you, but it doesn't check.
Okay, good.
Okay. But let's ask this question, because one of the lovely things about muscle testing is that you can do it in chunks, right? So that's how I got the age, right? I just 0 to 5, 5 to 10. Okay. And it's at home or it's at school? It's at school. So is this someone of your own age at school within a year or two? No, it's a teacher or possibly an administration person. But I'd get in a teacher. Yeah. So this teacher,
5th grade, okay.
5th grade, yeah. This teacher was going through some crisis of her own that had nothing to do with you. It's not about you. But whatever it was powerful enough that she was bringing it into the school and kind of splashing it around because she didn't know how to deal with her own toxins. This is extremely common in the human condition. And that's why people come and work with people like us, because they don't actually know how to handle their own toxins and the toxins that have been dumped on them.
Yeah.
So it's not, again, not about you. Can you see who this teacher is or was?
Well, the one incident that I remember, and only one from that age area, is my 4th grade teacher. Was seemingly a nice person until she got really mad at me for something and put me under her desk.
I'm sure it wasn't funny to you as a child.
And left me there the whole rest of the class. Yeah. I don't know what I did. I cannot recall what I did, but it really upset her. And she hide me away.
So is this a situation that we're looking at? That's a yes. So good listening.
Okay.
And okay, so what can we do to change it? Firstly, you need to understand that it's not about you. It's whatever she was going through herself. So she's got some issue going on there, and we'll never know what that is.
It was about me. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't about you. No, you were just the lightning rod. You know?
Okay.
Okay. So I imagine you don't know what was going on in her life, and how would you know?
No.
Is it something on this list? No.
Probably no. Okay.
Because I looked. Okay, so let me just listen. Again, we're looking for the signature. We're looking for the signature. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna love this one.
Oh dear.
All right, this is a teacher, and she was running Worthless.
Okay.
That was in her life. She was feeling worthless, not you. So how are we going to deal with that? In a slightly different way. We are going to forgive her.
Okay.
Okay. Now, forgiveness is super important, everyone. It really is. I'm going to show you this technical way to forgive. Yeah. So you can use this all the time. When you're under any kind of stress whatsoever, it means that your joy, wait a minute. It's love, forgiveness, choice. Love, forgiveness, choice have been taken out. If we can restore or reset your love, forgiveness, and choice, then you're not going to have a stress about whatever it is, right? Does that make some kind of sense? Everybody with me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. This is like the absolutely first thing we learn in Geotran. This is so cool. And everybody pay attention. And yet again, I will send you the file with the graphic, Shana, afterwards, if you like. Okay.
Okay.
So I am going to get up out of my chair and I'm going to show you how to do this. All right. Now, what I want you to see here Oh, I'm wearing black, which is kind of difficult against this background. You know what? I can change the
No, it's
background.
fine. We can see you.
All right. Okay, you see, this is the point of the knee. This is my left
Okay.
knee, outside leg, right?
The left, knee, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to see that point at the angle of the knee. And then you're going to go down about 2 inches, maybe 2.5,
Okay.
depending on how big your leg is, and then down about another 2 inches. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Right hand clockwise. You're crossing the body with the right hand to the outside of the left leg. 4, 2. Oh, sorry, I just
4,
went automatically. We're not doing subconscious clearings. We're doing positive points. Let's try that again. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. 2, 3. I don't know if you can see this. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6,
5, 3,
5.
6, 5.
Now I do it as when I'm teaching in person. I do this as a conga line. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. We are resetting your love, forgiveness, choice. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. All right. Now, and you can also use, when it's specifically a forgiveness issue, you can also use that Hawaiian prayer that for some reason I always have trouble pronouncing. The Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I knew you would know it. Okay, this is how I do it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Oh, you added one in there.
And
goodbye. I like that. You added 2 in there.
It's like, okay, off you go now.
Okay.
The fact that you've forgiven somebody does not mean you need to keep them in your life. As we know,
We got we got a question.
yeah,
What's
sure.
your question?
she wanted to hear that rundown again of the Ho'oponopono.
I'm gonna write it down, so.
Okay, so it's the right hand across to the outside.
No, the Ho'oponopono.
Oh, the Ho'oponopono. Right. Sorry,
Yeah.
I wasn't with you for a sec. Okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I love you.
I love you and thank you.
Thank you.
Now go away.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Get the F out of here.
Well, you can put it that way if you want to. I think mine's a little more neutral, but
Ho'oponopono to do with us. I am forgiving myself, and it's my whole energy.
Right. And
How come we are sending right back to this other person? I also forgive you, goodbye. Doesn't take this whole energy that we were working on using the 4 Ho'oponopono phrases, adding those 2?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
okay, consolidate your question.
Adding those 2 questions, isn't it taking the whole structure of the energy of the Ho'oponopono away, pretty much?
I
So-
cannot hear the words being spoken. I'm sorry.
She's asking, doesn't it take the structure of Ho'oponopono away,
Adding those 2 phrases.
adding those 2 phrases?
Not from my perspective.
Because Ho'oponopono is a field, and she's
Yeah.
working in the field also. So everything that you clear in you, you're also clearing away from you.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it appears like it's another person, but it's not really another person. It's you in your field. Does that make
You're
sense?
doing-
That's what I was thinking of, adding the extra 2
Okay.
phrases.
Yeah, I don't
if
think-
it would interfere somehow, somewhere,
Yeah.
connected to us.
So
Yeah, I don't think.
What you're
I don't think it
dissolving is the tension of the relationship. It doesn't really matter which end you do it from, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
I think it matters.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, I would just try it and see. Yeah. So at the moment,
Ho'oponopono works. Yeah.
so going back to what we're actually working on with Shayna, so there is a total state of forgiveness now between Shayna and that teacher. Yeah, that's all we need. We need to know
Okay,
that has released.
that's great. I want to never think about that again.
Exactly. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to make a note here because there's something else I really want to make sure and teach y'all, which you are going to enjoy so much. So there we go. Right. Okay. I've written a note and we will get back to it. Okay,
Okay.
so is there anything else that needs to be released or dissolved around this teacher? Yes, there's still a little something, just a little something. So is it an assimilation, contamination, or possession? No. Is it a release like we'd use with the dragon prayer? No. Is it about positive points? No. Is it, I'm just going to listen here.
She's Muslim husband.
See, what's the consequence?
Embarrassment.
Check humiliation.
Yeah, same thing for me.
Oh, sure. But here's the reason why. Firstly, I'm persnickety about language because that's just what I'm like. But secondly,
Yeah.
it matters. It matters the words that we use.
Okay.
Because it will open up a different file. And we all know the problems we have when we're looking at our electronic computers and we have forgotten the wretched file name.
Okay.
We
Right.
can't even search for it because we don't know the file name. I had the problem, this was quite a problem when I was working for Dorothy, because brilliant woman, very right-brained, and she recorded everything, and that was great. But she never remembered file names, and she never got the hang of the search function. So she would
Wow.
call me and say, I want to teach about this, and I think I taught about it maybe 5 years ago, and possibly the file name could be this.
Oh,
And I
wow.
find she actually taught it 8 years previously, and the file name was something completely different.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
that's because I'm super left-brained and she was super right-brained, and that was one of the reasons we were working together.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. So what is it that we need to, so humiliation. Let me just listen here a second.
I have more paper if you guys want.
Silence for a second. Oh. Okay, you need really need to get it that it was not about you, that it was about her. You really
Oh,
need
for
to.
sure, because I'm just realizing every time that situation comes up, I
Yeah.
can't figure it out, and I'm for sure that I did something wrong, and I never have ever had the thought it was about her. Never once.
Well,
It
of
was
course.
always about me. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?
Oh, good
Yeah.
thing I would never go there. We are all so ready to condemn ourselves all the
Yeah.
time. We really are. And the fact is, we do need to take responsibility when we screw up. But then we get to forgive ourselves too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about you actually do that? Why, I don't know why I have such problems with saying it that way. That with your 10-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. So everybody just take a minute and forgive yourselves for all the mistakes of the past, whatever those look like. And I'm going to do the positive points at the same time as you all do that.
Okay.
I forgive all the mistakes of the past, all misunderstandings, all screw-ups, all accidents. Just 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5. Whoops, there it goes.
Yeah, very willing to have that happen.
Yeah, we're just going to delete that. Beep.
Yeah. Beep.
Because we hold on to this stuff. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed how we hold on to these ways that we beat ourselves up?
Well, the thoughts just are repetitive, so it just is there.
They really create a channel in the field, and it's very easy to fall into that ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we do this work, and so that we can bring it into the conscious and resolve it or dissolve it or whatever needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh, felt that one. That was really good. Okay, so this is completely dissolved, whatever this thing that happened when you were 10. Yes, okay. One more thing. You see how easy this is if you just have this approach. Yeah, we're just going to listen in a very detached manner to what the issue is, where it's coming from. We're not going to beat ourselves up. We're just going to say what is required in order to resolve this. Yeah?
Right.
Without that self-judgment thing going on all the time. Ooh, Felt that one. Okay, one more. Prior to conception, conception birth. I'm almost wondering whether you got a shapeshifter in there, Shayna, but it's not checking. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, 9th, 10th, 11 months old.
11 months old.
11 months old.
Oh God, that's okay. You're gonna have to do that one all by yourself. I'm not going there. I don't know how to go there.
Okay, the next younger child is 3 years younger than you, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Was your mother pregnant between you and the next one down?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Just checking, because if you got one at 5 and one at 6 when you were 10 or 9 or 10, then there's kind of an implication that there could have been one between the two,
Yeah.
the stair step thing. Okay.
She had a miscarriage after both of them, but not before that I'm aware of.
Interesting. But she had one heck of an argument with your father.
Oh yeah, they were real good at that.
Oh my. Yeah, well, you got to do what you're good at, but all the same. Okay. I'm really, I could be totally wrong on this, but this is what I'm getting. It's like she could have got pregnant right then, except she's saying to your father, no, 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 we are not going there. No. An 11-month-old baby? And you want to have another one right now?
Well,
No.
that's what happened in between my sisters. They're only
Exactly.
14 months apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it did.
Nice.
She pushed it away so hard, she got it anyway. I mean, that's karma
I
for you.
stand justified. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, and here's this little kid in the same room, probably. Nothing to do with you, but it imprinted. What imprinted?
Are you asking me?
I
I
am.
have no idea. I have no idea what imprinted.
Well, let's see. Let's try, excuse my language, fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah.
Have you ever ended up saying that to a partner?
Oh, I always say that to myself, and I've said it to other people. Leave me alone. That was my mantra. Leave me alone.
Okay, well, you've been running that since you were 11 months old, and it wasn't even yours.
Yeah.
Because,
Wow.
honey, here's the point.
Really?
You're not
That was
in
mine?
choice.
Wow.
Okay, everybody really listen in on this one. When you are running an automatic pattern like that, you are not in choice.
Absolutely.
Okay, now remember what I said about positive points? Love, forgiveness, choice.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's do some positive points. Let's take you back to that 11-month-old. Let's get your favorite Aunt Shayna in there to take you out for the afternoon. Give your parents a little breather. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. Remember, that's right hand clockwise down the side, outside the left leg. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3. Whoop, there we go. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. Okay.
Oh, I had it going the wrong way, and as soon as I changed it, you felt it.
Well, that's the advantage of grace, I mean, your
Wow.
guides will help you, but you got to do your best.
Wow.
5, 6, 5. Okay, now so we kind of created a little space here. We've actually deleted a file because here's what's happening. That incident on the unconscious level created a file, and that file keeps wanting to run itself again because it thinks it's doing something beneficial for you. And it's not.
I feel that one in my heart right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we deleted that file. Beep. So what do we want to put in that place? What would you rather believe or do or feel than fuck off and leave me alone?
Wanted and welcomed and loved. And
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so it hasn't quite hit the mark yet. So let's really hear what that is. Because we're going to click it in. It's something, I haven't got exactly the right words yet, but it's something along the lines of you are absolutely okay the way you are.
That would be nice.
Would be nice, wouldn't it? Anybody else in the room ever have any issues around that one? A little self-acceptance? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. I'm just listening for the exactly what right way to formulate this. Sheriff's isn't exactly the right word. Just check whether enough is the right word. I am enough just the way I am.
Okay, yeah, that feels good.
Yeah, okay, so this is what I mean by clicking it in, okay? Now, all Geotran has to have, no, let me back that up. Your left brain only responds to words and sounds, and your right brain only responds to images and actions.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so that's why Geotran always has us doing an action and speaking the numbers or whatever it may be, or the prayer or whatever. Okay, so this is what I mean by clicking it in. We're going to go move the fingertips together as you see me doing here, and we're actually going to make a sound, and it doesn't really matter what the sound is. You can just say click, 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 click if you want. And we're going to state our intention, and our intention is, what did I say? I'm enough just the way I am.
Yeah.
Okay, enough. I am enough. Click, 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 click.
Click, 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 click.
Whoops! Until we feel it shift.
Wow, I didn't feel it shift, but I just feel so much lighter.
Yes.
What about you guys?
Yeah. Okay. So, woo! So this body person, that means Shayna, multidimensionally is 100% who she is designed to be right now.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Seal, quick!
Feel quick.
For this moment.
Right?
Now, somebody once said in my presence, somebody once said to Dorothy at a workshop, says,
I got a couple of Jewish women in here and she said Mazel Tov.
yeah, exactly. Somebody said to Dorothy once, well, are these permanent changes? You know, and they are. And she said, I thought really in a wonderful way, she said, oh yeah, absolutely. I said, well, how long will they last then? It's just, well, until you leave the room or you open your mouth, you know, because you are creating your own reality over there. And I'm creating mine over here. It's not like I'm not doing it too.
Wow.
Yeah. But wow, you know, if I were you, I'd be anchoring in this feeling, this reality, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Now that ends the presentation portion of today's talk. Now let's have some questions.
Questions.
That's for, how is this related to psychic?
To what?
Psychic.
Psychic?
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 Psychic.
What about
Psychic?
psychic?
Psychic. Ask her how's related.
Psychic.
How is this related to psychic?
It's a cousinly technique. I don't really know enough about psyche to pick apart the similarities and differences.
Psychic. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a similar technique. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So same techniques, just different ways of doing, connecting right and left hemisphere to clear old beliefs and print it in new ones.
Mm-hmm. There are bunches of different techniques. This is the one I happen to know, and it happens to have been created specifically by Dorothy Espio. So, yeah, it's a coding language, and there are. I'm sure that there are other coding languages or the equivalents out there, just as there are other computer programming languages. And as I say, I grew up with two computer programmers, so
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Right.
I have a question.
Okay, we have another question.
Please.
I've had a lot of traumatic experience in my life. Can I just line them up and just do one session? For all? Then I have to do them
Oh,
each separately.
Wow.
Oh, I would so love to just look here. I'll put a Band-Aid on them for you. Ding. Woohoo. But you pretty much have to tease them apart and deal with them one by one, pretty much.
It's much more effective
Same.
when you do,
Why?
not because of your conscious mind, it's because your field is so complex and has so many memories, anchors, and
Layers.
different things in different places in your body, and layers, and and timelines and all of that. So it's much more efficient when you do them one by one. Yeah,
I thought I would just make it quick.
I know.
And here's the other part of that answer, from my perspective at least, this is what I've been taught, is that if we just turned you upside down and shook you until the quarters fell out of your pockets and dusted you off and put you under the high pressure hose, you would probably have a pretty severe detox reaction.
Yeah, absolutely. Very severe. I've done that before. It's not.
Yeah, I was gonna say, about this, Shana, I'm sure. Yeah.
I've been through it, all the dark stuff.
Okay, well, thank you. Line everything up.
Okay,
Yeah.
Suji.
When she was feeling something shift in her heart, I realized, oh, I had it too. And then when we did the side, again, on the side leg, just left.
Yeah.
But I learned something very similar in the 1970s, way before computer, and we did 155, 155. If we were
There are other
driving
codes. Mhm.
electrical power lines and all that stuff, just always like self-protection, but we weren't really doing these theories yet.
Mhm. Sure.
Circles of light, circles of light.
Circles of light, yeah.
Yeah. And as I say, this is a developing field, and definitely there are other people who also have very good techniques. They just don't happen to be the ones I know.
But I think that the first batch, I remember these numbers, 42224462. I have them written somewhere on my wall. So, but
Great.
do I remember them? No, I used to know them by heart, but then I stopped using them. So thank you for bringing that back.
Oh,
Yes, so
that's sweet.
Yeah, I start my day by doing about 36 different codes and tap touches and integrations and what have you, because I want to know. It's the same as when you open up your laptop. That the laptop system, the computer system, is going to take a minute to run through everything and say, oh yeah, everything still works. Hopefully. Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's exactly what we do as well in Geotran. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure, there are certainly other techniques. This is not the only technique, and I just love it that more people are developing stuff all the time. I mean, the Dragons gave me the activations technique in 2 months while I was in France, 236 separate activations. It's like I spent my entire time just writing down activations. And I'm sure there are other people who have sacred geometry techniques like that. I mean, I can't wait until they send me the next technique, which is probably, I'm going to be in France for all of December and January, and that's probably when they'll give it to me. So it's great. It's really fun.
There's one called Center Balance Stabilize Integrate. Up the middle line, center balance stabilize. We get in all those clearings, past, present, future, known and unknown. That whole
Great. Hey, whatever works,
all works.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it wrong, really.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's
all right.
I have a question. If this process could be done by me, like to my daughter or my son, my son is very stubborn, piece of crazy. So I cannot do that for him. Would it be okay if I use his picture or
No.
No.
No, remember what you said in the beginning. You can't impose your will on anyone without their permission.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
actually a violation. And I totally honor that you have great intentions. If God forbid, if your son were in hospital and unconscious,
no.
then and you were to ask in the field, ask the part of him that was able to respond, do I have your permission to do this work on the body there? And they said yes, then you could do it. Or if you have an underage child and you are responsible for that child, like it may be a grandchild in your case, then, but I would still ask, because you don't want to be in violation. You know, that gets you off balance.
But you can pray for people, right? And ask for
Absolutely.
God's will, God's highest will, or God's highest,
It's called the prayer of intercession. Yeah. And you really need to set your boundaries correctly for that to be. It's not that it won't be effective if you don't. It's that you're the one who will get out of balance if you are giving, helping, serving, teaching, and allowing incorrectly.
Wow.
Do you see what I'm saying here?
She's something about it.
Yeah.
Because, I would love to just, I mean, that's why I have a wand. I would love to be in an airport and going, okay, you ting, you ting, you
Right?
you ting, you ting, you ting. I would definitely be doing stuff on my family.
Well, when I
But-
see people hobble across the street while I stop at the red light, I will usually just cover them in prayer. Just, so they can get across the side and get home without pain.
Yeah, there were gray areas there as everywhere else. But that's one of the things your muscle testing is really good for. I mean, there are times when I can see a truth about someone, but I have learned that I should at least check, firstly, am I the person to tell them this truth? And secondly, is this the right time to tell them this truth? Is it obedient for them? That is it in alignment with their divine blueprint? And is it in alignment with my divine blueprint for this to occur? Because when I was younger in this work, very naturally, I just wanted to work on everybody.
Right.
Guess who got slammed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just takes you into the church of stupid. I'm sorry to say it, but there you go.
Yeah.
It really does. So it's important to be careful. It's important to be obedient. It's important to keep your alignment with your own divine blueprint.
Yeah.
So, unless there's another immediate question, she gives a very small pause in case anybody wants to say.
I just was asking them. They're saying no, they're all good.
Okay, because there's this other technique that I've just been reminded of that I wrote down earlier that I think is actually going to address what I'm sorry, I don't know anybody's name apart from Shana, but the lady in the black and white coat there. This is actually, I think, going to benefit you especially. Okay. It's the detachment code. Are we all ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. This is not even a tap. This is a hold. Okay. Now, it's right hand, cone the fingers like you're picking up a sugar cube, something like that. You're going to go down the midline to 1 inch below the navel on the midline. Okay. And we're going to hold 1, 2, release. And again, 1, 2, release. Now, let's try it in practice. Okay. What is something you're not detached about? Oh, Shana, you are not detached about receiving money.
I'm not.
No, you're not.
I'm
You're
totally attached about it.
Yeah, you really want to receive that money, and I'm so with you. But mastery is about detachment.
Okay, right.
Now, when I say detachment, you can still have a preference. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm totally ready to receive $1 million or more right now. In fact, make that 9 million. Thank you.
I know, right? She also
but I don't actually care what direction it comes from.
Right.
It's like, okay, I've got these projects and this is like the minimum and the dragons are telling me I can have it. So let's go.
Yeah.
But if I can be detached about being in debt, if I can be detached about receiving money or not receiving money, if either side can be okay, even though my preference is to receive money,
Yeah.
I can deal either way. That gives me more choices. That gives me more mastery over the situation.
Okay, right.
See how this works? So let's because you are just in my sights here, Shayna, just because you're the only one I know in this group.
But we all have the same thing.
There you go. Okay, so let's do a pre-test. Shayna is detached about money. No, of course she's not. Come on, let's get real here. Shayna is not detached about money. Okay, that's a yes, not detached about money. So let's do this so that we can do a post-test, okay? So everybody right hand, cone the fingers, 1 inch below the navel on the midline, 1, 2, release, 1, 2, release. Let's do it again. 1, 2, release, 1, 2, release. And you don't even have to bring your hand up. I'm just so you can see what I'm doing rather than, my sort of having to go down here. Okay. All right. So Shayna is now detached about money. She would prefer to have money, but she's okay with not having money. Detachment.
Right.
So how about everybody one at a time throw in something that you're not detached about.
Oh, here's an opportunity, you guys.
Something that we're not.
Something that you're not detached about.
I like this.
Detached. Oh, yeah.
I'm not attached to cleaning.
You're not detached.
Okay, so this person has an attachment to cleaning or not cleaning. It doesn't matter which. Same thing, right? But that's an issue. Okay, so let's cone the fingers 1 inch below the navel on the midline. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. And again, 1, 2, release. Whoop, felt that. 1, 2, release. Okay, this body person now detached about cleaning. Done. Seal. You see how easy this is? So I am, for example, I am very determined, very focused on buying my chateau in France. And then we'll all go and have a really nice, set of retreats there. Okay, different question. So it's important for me to be detached about that. Right? So this body at the moment is detached about the chateau in France? No. I mean, I was yesterday, but what can I tell you? Okay, so 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. And again, 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. Okay, this body is now detached about being a chatelaine in France. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, Shayna, you probably are pretty darn detached about your ex if you have not actually been with him for the last.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're not detached about the impact that he had on you.
Yeah.
1, 2, release. 1, 2, release.
Release. 1, 2, release.
Yeah.
1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release.
Now you gotta clean your liver.
Right?
I didn't catch, sorry.
I said, now she's gotta clean your liver.
She said, now I have to clean my liver.
But here's another one that actually we were talking about in the Geotrain group in the most recent call was this one gal who has actually survived, cancer quite recently, and she's looking pretty good, but she is a professional athlete. She's a swim coach, and the person leading the group said, well, is there anything else that you're kind of disturbed about at the moment? She says, yeah, just this overweight is bugging me. Huh. Anybody feeling overweight?
Overweight, yeah.
Even if it's just by 10 pounds?
Yeah.
Let's get detached about it.
Okay.
1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. And I think we're going to do it again because we can. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. Now remember, this is 1 inch below the navel on the midline. 1, 2, release. 1, 2, release. Whoa, see? Now everybody in the room is detached about being overweight. which in a restaurant is actually quite a good space to be in, if you think about it.
Right?
So you see, so even some of these quite subtle things that we don't really even think about this that much, because maybe it's been our reality for a long time. Oh, that's what I was trying to say. Look, if your reality since the age of 11 months old, Shayna, is leave me alone, that's what you're going to revert to as
Yeah.
soon as you loosen your grip on what you're consciously thinking and feeling and believing and doing,
Oh,
because that is your reality
yeah.
for all of these years. And you can start again, but this is why I really urge people who work with me, at least, but whatever it is you're doing, yeah, to clear these things. I can do miraculous things in 2 hours. I really can. I mean, not me, but the spirit in me. And I have an enormous toolkit. But if you really want to have the sustainable change, then you have to keep going to the gym and not have the whole change in 2 hours and then go back to exactly what created the problem in the first place. Yeah, you're going to revert to whatever your circumstances are, unless you are willing to put in some work on a consistent basis to develop the muscles of faith, the muscles of power, the muscles of detachment, till they become your default. So that, that's why I offer miracle breakthrough sessions, like for 2 hours. Absolutely. But I really urge people to sign up for a longer course than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
for
that
sure.
together we can, make that sustainable for you. No, it's kind of it's a bit challenging to get you to this fabulous place and just leave you there to sink or swim on your own. It's like, but that's, fortunately you have a lot of choices around that, so that's good.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So anything else people want to work on their detachment around?
Or anything else about detachment?
Or anything
Yeah.
else? Yep. Did I hear a yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to be detached from what's going on in the world, which is very scary.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is why it actually came up in our last GeoTrain call. It's exactly because of what's going on in the world. Yeah. And the need for everyone to perceive it through the lens of their own dogma, cause, agenda, religion. And I don't mean religion in the sense of being Jewish or Christian or any of that stuff. I mean the church of stupid. I mean the church of misery, the church of jealousy, the church of envy, the church of disappointment.
Church of television news.
Yeah.
Well, that television news. I mean, you already have a choice about that. Just don't turn the damn telly on. I've never owned a television. I seem to be getting along perfectly well, thank you. Mind you, the internet is very seductive.
Yeah, it's true. You switch.
It's more like, what is the dogma, cause, agenda, religion that the television news that you are choosing to watch
Not me, I'm
trying to hook you into?
Yeah.
See, so television news itself is potentially neutral.
Potentially.
Yeah,
I'm
not saying that I'm not saying that there is no dogma, cause, agenda. I'm just saying that the television news itself is not the dogma, cause, agenda.
still they run home to catch the news. They gotta catch the news.
Yeah.
Oh, so news
Hey.
is missing.
I spend about 3 minutes a day on the Guardian UK website. That's it. And that's usually on my way to finding the crossword puzzle. Yeah. So let yourself off the hook. But be detached about it. Okay. So okay. Somebody just say the word television news to me.
No, I was just using that as an example, but go ahead.
No, just say it. I'm going to show you something. Go. Say it.
I'm saying, I'm attached to the television news.
No, just say television news. That's it.
Television news.
Okay, that is off. Okay, that's saying when it's off in muscle testing, it means there's less life force energy going in there. Okay, now let me show you something cool. Everybody do your positive points. That's the one down the left side of the leg. 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. Whoop. Now say television news to me. Okay, now say television news to me.
It's hard to say. Television news, that comes out really different.
Wow,
Television
interesting.
news.
Yeah, all we did was de-stress it. That's all we did. So, in fact, when I'm teaching people in person, when I'm doing my own classes, the very first thing we do is we take those words that people find stressful, that are triggers for them, and we do positive points until they're not triggered. Yeah, you have the tools now. It's remembering to use them.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's all right for me. I've been doing this for a long time.
Our memory, will we get a better memory working by clearing up junk that is just kind of filling in like plaque?
Yes. Yes, we can do that. Yeah. And the first line of attack on that is use your positive points.
With balancing.
Use your
Use those positive points. That with those ones down the outside of the left leg. Learn them, love them, do them every day. As soon as you feel the slightest bit off or the slightest bit stressed, and they're also good for physical pain. Any kind of physical condition. So for instance, my friend in France actually sent me, unfortunately I'd gone to bed early. He sent me a message at 5:30 a.m. French time, which was 10:30 p.m. my time, but I'd already gone to bed, saying that he had a cough. So when I got the message, which was at 5 a.m. my time, I did a whole bunch of positive points for him. Yeah. And if he were in front of me, and I have done this on him, when we're in the same room, obviously, I would have him touch. In my case, I get sore throats. His was more of a lung complaint. I would have him touch the lung points and just do positive points until the lung points stayed on. Yeah. So it's not just for the non-physical, but it's particularly good for the non-physical.
Yeah,
right?
really.
So, like if anybody else has got any other words or concepts that are bugging them right now, now is a really good time to mention them, and we'll clear them all together.
I want to add to Suji's thing. When I can't find my keys or I can't find stuff, I go, oh my God, I'm losing it, So I'm afraid of losing my memory.
Okay, so first, let's have some detachment around losing your memory. 1, 2, release. 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 Now the stress of losing your memory, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 2, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5. And because I'm me, I'm just going to ting you for memory. Ding. So you can at least stop adding to the stress of losing your memory. If you lose your memory, you lose your memory. Okay. Yeah. But the stress is not helping any. Do you see what I mean?
Or it becomes resistance when you're stressed out about one thing.
Yes.
One thing and you're focused on it becomes resistance, and that's where you're not attached.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what you resist persists.
That's right.
What you resist persists.
Yeah. So let's all get detached about the RV, for instance. 1, 2, release. 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 And I'm going to be super detached about cryptocurrency. 1, 2, release. 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 And you know what? Sometimes also, if people are constantly, and seal, thank you. If people are constantly messing with your field, equalizing you down to their level of stress, it's really okay to walk away. I give you permission.
Not to listen to it.
Just,
There's
yeah,
a-
there's this BTC, this crypto thing that has been a real challenge for me in the last 2 weeks. And the person that brought it to my attention has been a royal bitch about it. And finally I said, look, and I gave her several warnings. She contacts me by email, gave her several warnings. I said, look, either grow up or shut up, because I'm doing my best here. And your constant attacks and chiding and criticism is just not helping me. And I'm not going to respond to it. And I'm not going to read your emails anymore. And she sent me, seriously, she sent me 6 emails, very similar vituperative energy in the space of 20 minutes.
Was that what
Blocked-
you're talking about? Talking about cryptocurrency?
Yeah, this is a particular cryptocurrency deal that I'm involved in.
Yeah.
And so I blocked her email and I told her that I would. And I did. And it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
It really is. So just let yourselves off the hook, because especially as women, saving your presence over there on the left. Hi. As women, we are taught to be polite more than anything else. And I am not saying we should go around raging at the world. I am saying we get to be detached and we get to make some better choices for ourselves. And one of those choices could well be, you know what? I'm not talking to you on this topic anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really
I have
okay.
a face on that says we're all connected. Maybe I should take it off.
Do you really want to be connected to the people you don't want to be
Not
connected to?
anymore. No, maybe it's not.
You're giving her a realization. She says she has a bracelet on that says we are all connected.
I got to tell you that one of the things that I find kind of challenging in the whole,
I took
for
it
lack
off.
of a word, woo-woo circles that I kind of sort of hang out with, is this: we are all one stuff. No, we're not, people. We are actually here to be individuals, and there are certain people I do not want to be one with. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One, two.
Good job. Good job. Somebody's learning something over there. Yay. That is absolutely perfect. I love it. Yeah. So, use the tools. Use the tools. That's all I'm saying. And see what changes that they make in your life. And this is just like the absolutely basic foundational level of Geotran. And so if it checks for you, with your permission, Shayna, contact me. If you want to work with me, if something about all this speaks to you, I will at least answer your email and check whether it's obedient for us to work together. Because if it isn't obedient, I'm not doing it. But I don't know, any other questions, remarks, feedback, anything else I can help with this minute?
One more question and then we're off.
Okay.
If I wanted to work with you, how do I get a hold of you?
I'll send you the website.
Yeah, or send, if you're willing, Shayna, send them my email address. That's the best and easiest way to get.
Okay, sure. What is the school.com/dragon?
I kind of put that on the back burner a little bit because
did you?
Rebranding and issues and stuff like that, but it will come up fairly soon.
I'll send your email then.
Yeah, and I'm very available on Facebook. Okay. Especially now that I have cleared out. I've gone from 2,500 friends on Facebook to 216, and pulled myself out of a lot of groups.
Yeah.
So I have space for you lovely people.
Like she
had
people pull them out.
Yeah.
In fact, she said, if you're reading this, then you're still on my list.
Actually, somebody else pointed out, who's very technically minded, said, well, actually, you did this in public, so there are other people in the public domain who can read this. I said, yeah, but it's probably not going to show up for them.
All right.
On my list.
All right.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I,
sweetheart, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
gosh.
my
What a
pleasure.
fun afternoon, and I love your knowledge, and it's so vast. And there's so many levels of clearing, and so I really appreciate you, and I think everyone here did.
Maybe we got toast and
And we're gonna do a little debrief after, and if
Oh.
there's any yummy stuff, I will send it to you.
mention her name again.
Absolutely. And
Here.
I'm going to
Bye.
send you the positive points and the subconscious clearings. And I haven't written up the subconscious one,
Yes,
the
thank you.
attachment one, but you've all learned that one, so that's okay.
Right, I'm sure. And that prayer, I love that prayer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me.
Dragon prayer, yeah,
Dragon prayer. Yeah.
that was really
Yeah,
great.
all those lists, all those lists.
The name, the words, yeah.
I have got thousands of lists. You have no idea.
I know, I have no idea.
I have been the keeper of the files for 26 years. So
Oh my
any
God.
geotran lists that exist, I've got them somewhere.
I know, when I work with her, she's got volumes of books behind her. Wait, I've got a book for that, and she'll pull it out, and it's like thousands of pages, and she'll go right to the page, and we'll clear stuff that I would have never thought of. Yeah,
Wow.
it's really awesome working with her direct.
Oh,
Because then you get into, like she did with me, the real pinpoint things. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, love, I'm gonna let you go.
okay, my dear, I'll send these right away to your email.
Okay.
And lots of love and blessings, everyone. Ting, 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 ting. And I'm sure we'll speak
Thank
again.
you. All right, sweetheart. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I can just end it?
Yeah.
Okay.